Well, welcome to day 14 of our trip riding Harley Davidsons around Australia. So we've been on the road for 2 weeks. We're in the good weather now, t-shirt weather all the way it was going to be. So it was really good riding conditions, excellent weather. It was definitely the right time of the year to do it, August, September, to do the trip. We headed off, and our goal for this day was to get to Carnarvon. So we headed off through the Cane River National Park and around, I think, the Pilbara, the start of it. And it's a pretty interesting place. There's not much there, it's all pretty dry, and there's incredible rock formations everywhere. It's really it's quite cool to ride through. So although it was just a lot more straight roads and pretty dry and arid, some of the scenery actually was quite brilliant. And then we started seeing the giant anthills everywhere, literally thousands and thousands of them, and some of them 6 foot tall. They were huge. Didn't see any ants though. Maybe they were having a sleep during the day, but I don't know. It's kind of like riding on Mars anyway. It's really different to anything we'd seen before. And the fuel stops were getting further and further apart. Everything was around between 200, 250 to 300 kilometres apart. So you had to really keep an eye on your fuel. And really, it's a part of the country you wouldn't want to break down in, because there's nothing for miles and miles. But we got to Carnarvon and found ourselves just out of Carnarvon. We found ourselves a dry riverbed to camp up in for the night. So we camped up there and settled in to watch the sun go down, which is really beautiful. The sunsets and sunrises over the Pilbara, they were brilliant. And then the next day we headed off towards Port Headland, and it was pretty much all the same sort of scenery, big long straight roads and strange rock formations. It was alright. It was different. When we got to Port Headland, we didn't actually stay there. We were thinking about staying there, but we didn't stay there. It's a big, dirty kind of city. It's just the big port for all the mines and everything like that. It's just full of industry and stuff. So as far as scenery goes, we didn't think much of it. So we kept moving. We stopped and had a quick look and had some lunch, and then we just kept moving on up the road. We finally got to a roadhouse in the middle of nowhere called Pardue. I'm not sure if you say that, like how you say that, but Pardue. And managed to find ourselves a little spot out the back of there, and even had an old shed out there, so we had a little bit of cover for our bikes. Because though the weather was really nice, you're still getting a lot of dew at night time, so there was a lot of moisture on the bikes and stuff when we got up in the morning, so it was good to be able to get them under cover. So we kicked back and settled in there and for one night, and the next day it was off to Broome. We were going to get to that second corner of Australia, and geographically the halfway mark of the trip, not quite halfway in kilometres, but it was the second corner of Australia anyway. So about halfway there, the Starfire Roadhouse, which is it's a really cool roadhouse. Got a little brewer there, and alcohol signs and things, and those little fountains. It's pretty well set up. It's a nice place to have a bit of a look around, and we spent a bit of time looking around there because I had a problem with my bike. The battery went flat on me when I pulled in there and fueled up, and then went to move the bike and she wouldn't move. But so we were stuck there for an hour or so, and we managed to get the bike started. Got a jump start from one of the old grey Nomads. They're always good. They've always got plenty of tools and stuff with them. And we rode the last 300 kilometres into Broome to without stopping, just to try and put some charge in the battery. While we're at the Starfire roadhouse, I started getting this bad feeling, and I couldn't really put my finger on it. I just was feeling pretty down and upset, and I didn't really know why, what was going on. And, the battery going flat was an inconvenience, but it was no big deal really. And I wasn't feeling good at all. I was feeling really sad. Didn't know why. We got the bike going, rode to Broome, and then we got some really bad news. I understood why I'd been feeling. Trying to think for hours. What I could write. What I could say. So many people I care about are feeling this incredible loss today. I found out Christmas time, Marty Gardner he had cancer and he was going to be in the fight of his life. Kind of one reason that I started doing this, the whole chasing TC and get the YouTube going and everything, was taking videos and photos and stuff and sending them to Marty, just a bit of a distraction for him, maybe what he was going through. Owen brought Marty's bike off him. We'll ride it around Australia. So, and we'll send Marty, videos and photos, and we've been sending him private messages, private videos, and that just for him and Raylene, just where we are and what we're up to. Just, I don't know, just hoping that maybe it was just a little bit of a distraction just for a few minutes of what they were going through. We're over 6,000 kilometres into the trip now. Been keeping Marty up with the play at exactly what's been going on and stuff. Yesterday, I don't know, I was just overwhelmed with grief and sadness, and my bike started playing up. It doesn't usually play up, it's pretty reliable. We pulled into a truck stop, and my battery went, brand new battery, my battery went dead. We ended up stranded there for an hour or so and working it out, managed to get it jump started, get it going again. Well, it was 300 kilometres from where we were to Broome, where I am now. And I thought, I'll just ride it, get a bit of charge back of the battery, so we'll do it without. We don't normally ride 300 kilometres without stopping, We'll stop somewhere along the way, but there was nothing, there was no road houses, no fuel stops, there was nothing. So I thought I'll just ride it for the 3 hours. I felt so bad, so, I don't know, grief, sadness. I found myself crying in my helmet, and just thinking about Marty, and my tears would well up, and I think, oh, come on, dig in, ride a bit harder, This is just your depression, it's just your fucking stupid depression. Ride out of it. But it was so overwhelming. The whole 3 hours, or 300 kilometres, I was, spent most just off and on just crying to myself, thinking, you're an idiot. But then we got here, and we were just, I don't know, I can be moody at times anyway because of the depression, but I was so antsy. I don't know, something was wrong. And then we got everything, all our stuff for the night, got it all set up, and then I got the message that Marty had passed away. And then today, we know that Marty's been on this trip with us all the way. We've been sending him videos and photos, and Raylene says he's always asking, where are they now? How's my bike going? It's hard to come to terms with. I'm a long way from home. Yeah, your first instinct is you just want to hop on a plane and go back there and show him that last respect, be there at his funeral. But I know you're out there watching Marty, and I know you tell me off and you kick me butt if I didn't finish this trip. We decided to stay here for a couple of days, take a bit of a breather. And it's just so happens there's a bit of a parade and a festival on in Broome today, but everyone else has gone into it. I just waited till I had some time to myself. Probably go in there a bit later maybe, but to be honest, I'm in the right place right now. Just on a big bush block, middle of nowhere, and this is where I feel like I need to be, rather than around the crowds. It's so overwhelming, and I'm feeling a bit lonely. I've got good people around me, and I've got the support of my family. We're going to get back on the road, and we're going to finish this trip. I know Marty's going to be riding right along with us, keeping us in line. I really wanted to say something, but what can you say? Lost a good man, a friend to everyone, and we're going to ride on in his memory with him looking over us, sitting on their shoulder, giving us shit. That's what we've got to do. That's what I've got to do. I'm going to miss you, mate. I eventually did go down to the parade where Camille works for a trike hire company. The trike tours around Broome, and the company was in the parade, so they had all their trikes in there, and they were all dressed up like gangsters and with big water pistols and squirting the kids with water and chucking handfuls of lollies for them. It was great. They hadn't heard of it. I went in there for a little while, but not for long. I just wasn't feeling up to it. Join us next episode when we start heading across the top of Australia, and we were in for a fantastic surprise, which was a bit of a shock for us, and so tune in to some of the incredible things that happened to us while we were going across the top of Australia. And don't forget to subscribe. It really helps us out if people subscribe to the YouTube and help the YouTube channel gets known. So please subscribe.